Hey, Shalom. First, want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful lake, the house of David. Let's get into this. I've been trying to make this video almost all day. Doggone. My neighbors have been doing construction on another room, so it's just been loud these past few days. So, it's a lock in for the old, not updating y'all, uploading this junk. But I got a few lessons on deck. I wrote down. I'm gonna get on. But yeah, this one I had it bugged me. It bugged me, cause you always have men trying to find a way to say Eve is their God or Eve is equal to them. Not what the order said. Not what the order said. You don't want to put Eve in the order she was meant to be in. You always want to be her above or beside you. You know? Listen to this soy boy. Listen to this soy boy. Listen to this. And this video is all used for educational purposes only. Fair use. First, read what the title of the video say. Why Eve wasn't a helper. Did you hear that? Why Eve wasn't a helper.
You've heard that Eve was made to be a helper for Adam, but the reason behind that translation choice might be androcentrism. In English, we read in Genesis 2 that God sees Adam alone and says, "I'll make him a helper suitable for him." But the word that's used for helper there is Ezer, and its meaning is much closer to rescuer. Because in English, the word helper generally implies subservience, someone helping from below. But in the 20 times that Ezer's used in the Old Testament, it always refers to some kind of emergency rescue, like when David's on the run for his life and says that my Ezer is in the Lord. Now, there is some overlap between the ideas of help and rescue, but one emphasizes Adam and the other emphasizes Eve. And when you have theologians in the 1500s like John Knox who are saying that it's their mission to battle the monstriferous empire of women, I don't think it's a stretch to suggest that maybe the translations of Genesis that were happening at that time might have been influenced by that agenda. You've heard that Eve was made to be a helper.
You trying to say Eve was our what? Our rescuer. You hear that? You hear that? You hear that? That was so damn stupid. That was so damn stupid. He's saying Eve was sent down to save us. That was he basically saying Eve was sent to save man. That is so damn stupid. We're gonna look at a few comments before we get into this lesson. I've seen that Ezer translates as help, but not the mere assistance or help from someone, rather the kind of help an army provides, meaning that Eve was a strong and necessary complement for Adam. Let's get into this. Let's see what he's saying. Yeah, I see this crap. Yeah, I see this crap, man. We're gonna get into the lesson. Yes, like rescuer, the same 3 letters root is used to mean shield. She was strong, but not compared to men. How also to help isn't subservient. It's an act of kindness and wanting to be useful. What the hell? These people just make no damn sense, man. These people just make no damn sense. He said the comments of cooking love these explanations, very meek and bold in response, whatever.
For Adam. But the reason behind that translation.
And that it was some more. I ain't want to keep scrolling down the comments like I did when I first saw the video, because it was like some scriptures like, yeah, Eve was not meant to be subservient but assistant, side by side. It was a comment that said it was a from, and I'm like, what? These people would twist and mingle the scriptures however they want. Now, the thing they didn't do, they didn't do, the people in the man that made the video and the people in the comments, is that they didn't bring up a precept to define the Bible. To say, okay, maybe it says this, but what does the scripture says? What does the scripture says? And we finna go find out. We finna go find out what the scripture says to find Eve place. We finna go find out. First, we're gonna go here. This is Isaiah chapter 28 verse 9. Because I'm about to go from place to place to prove a point, but that's how scripture says you must use the Bible. Listen. How scripture says you must use the scriptures. Listen, this is Isaiah chapter 28 verse 9 and 10. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You see, you just can't go off on one precept, on one scripture, and say that's it, or go off on one definition. You look into a word, you look into that one word, then just run with it. No, you have to look at that precept. You have to keep reading to find another precept and another precept, because that precept will lead to that precept, and that will give you a full understanding. It's like a puzzle. You have to puzzle. You got to get each piece, place the piece in that piece in their rightful places to get the full picture. Let's get these scriptures, man. Cause these women, they rebellious. They don't want that. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. It's either above or equal to a man. They don't want to be in their role. They don't want to, bro. They don't want to listen. Cause that come from rebellious. From a rebellious spirit. They don't want to be in order. They don't want a man to tell them anything to do. They don't want a man to tell them nothing. Is either they giving orders or they making decisions together. She's not from listen to no order from a man. You listen to order from your boss at work. You got these weak men that will quickly give up their power to a woman. Or just for a smile, just for a like, just for love. What scripture say? Why trimmest thy ways for love? It gets irritating, man. It get irritating. It get very, very irritating, because women's gonna always do things from a very emotional standpoint. Cause it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing, thinking logically, but adding your emotions, cause that's what we do. That what we do. That what even what the Most High do. You know, because if he in love us, what he would if he was just completely logical, we would have been done away with. Nah. But women are extremely emotional when it comes to thinking. You know. Let's get this. Listen, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 8 and 9. Listen. For the man is not of the woman. Did you hear that? For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. You see, of the man. For this cause ought the woman to have. For this cause ought the woman to have power have on her head, because, for this cause the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. I was just like, I skipped the verse 9, Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Did you hear that? We're going to read that over again. This is verse 8 and 9. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And this was not for her to what? To rescue us. No, it was for her to be a what? A servant, a helper. You know? Let's get it. This is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Listen. Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and being heirs together of grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. Not be hindered. Not be hindered. You know? Because look, how is someone weaker than you is going to rescue you? How is someone weaker than you going to save you? No. How is someone weaker than you going to stand beside you? No. They are meant to be behind. They are meant to follow. You know? That's why you have all this mess, this madness when women trying to lead. You have all this mess and madness when women try to lead. Nah. That's not their role. That is not their role. You know? Listen to this. Y'all know me. I like to let the scripture talk. This is 1 Timothy chapter 2. Oops. It's 1 Timothy chapter 2. Verse 11 and 12. Listen. Let the woman learn in silence with subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. Did you hear that? You see, there is order. When it's come to a helpmate, to help the servants, what was the help called back in the days? What was the help mentioned known as a servant? There was not a help was so-called a servant. What the help did, the help cleaned up, the help took orders, the help obeyed. What you women do not do today. What you women don't do today, man. Why? Because you're stuck up on the false ideology that Esau Edom has given you to believe that you are stronger, that you are equal to or better than a man. This is that Babylonian American idolatry. It's idolatry, but also it's that ideology that women are equal to and or better than a man, and that is not the case. That is not the case. You know. It's just everybody has their role. Everybody has their role. You know? And you deny it because what? It's either one, you had a problem with the man, or two, you had a problem with the Most High. It's always out of those two. It's either you had a problem with the man or you had a problem with the Most High. You know? You just being a damn enemy, a damn demon. It's either one of those two. It's either you have a problem with the man or you had a problem with the Most High. Because a woman that, that actually, serve the Most High, believe the Most High, quickly get in order. They don't buck up against the order He's established in the earth. They don't, defy Him. They say, oh, so the Lord deals with the man, then me. All right, so that means I need to get to the man to get to the Most High. The woman needs to get to the man to get to Yahweh Shai to get to the Most High, Yahweh. That's how it works. It's an order. Men have to get to Yahweh Shai to get to the Father. You know? You'll be surprised. You know? Let me see something. I got something for y'all. Listen to this. This is how powerful that order is. Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. If a woman also vow a vow unto the Lord, and bind herself by a vow, being in her father's house in her youth, and her father hear her vow, and her bond wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her. Then shall her vow shall stand, and every bond wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. But her father disallow her in the day of that he heareth not any of her vows or of her bonds wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand, and the Lord shall forgive her because her father disallowed it. And if she had at all an husband, when she vowed and uttered aught out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then her vow shall stand, and her bonds wherewith she had bound herself shall stand. But if her husband disallow her on the day that he heard it, then he shall make her vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and the Lord shall forgive her. You see that? You see that? That's how much power. The man had over the woman. You hear that? Did you hear that? We be like, hey Lord, don't hear our prayers right now. Nah, Lord, nah. You see, the Lord gonna always check with the man. The man gonna look. The Lord make your prayers known to the man, even if you trying to keep it secret. And the man get to your husband, he like, alright, that's cool. Or nope. That's how powerful. That's the order of the things. That's the order of the earth. You know. But you women, see, the women that believe, they ain't got a problem with this. They understand order. But it's always gonna be a problem for the rebellious women, because they either got a problem again. They either got a power with the man or the Most High. You know. So, hey, that's it on that. That's it on that. You know. I just had to make a video on that because that jump be irritating me. When I believe we be taking step forward, I'm like, man, these people. Well, as a body, we way ahead. As a body, we way ahead of these people of this world. These Christians, these any kind of other false sect of Bible worshippers. I'm not sure what to call them. Yeah, we were ahead of them. Because they go about emotions or how to please the woman. They'll trim the truth for love. They'll trim the truth for love to somehow please the woman, to somehow please the children, you know. But nah, the truth is, it's raw and uncut. It's raw and uncut. What Paul said, I have not, roughly paraphrasing, I have not, damn, how it goes. I'm trying to roughly paraphrase it. He was basically saying, I told you the truth, the good and the ugly. He ain't held anything back. You know, he told you the good and the ugly without sparing feelings, without sparing feelings. He brought it all out, the good, bad, and the ugly, Hey, but with that, I hope you're satisfied. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the whole elect, the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.